listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. Radio's authority on the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology, celebrating 25 years of broadcasting. Broadcasting around the world and to the great beyond. Listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. Radio's authority on the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology, celebrating 25 years of broadcasting. Broadcasting around the world and to the great beyond.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back, everyone. This is the X-Zone. I am Rob McConnell, coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Send me your emails, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, on all social media sites. It's xzone@xzoneradiotv. And you can listen to the show Monday through Friday from 8 p.m. Eastern until midnight, or for the rest of the 724 365 clock, the best of the X-Zone, going back to, 1991, I believe. We have archives going back that far, at www.xzoneradiotv.com. My guest this hour is Carolyn Shields. She is a retired nurse, researcher, photographer, music composer, indie publisher, and writer whose home is in Houston, Texas, with her husband and 2 sons. In her quest for the truth, she has stumbled into and onto many surprising coincidences and interesting facts. Carolyn believes in synchronicity, in which everything is connected and there are no coincidences. Her quest started after seeing Da Vinci's painting called Virgin on the Rocks at the Louvre and London Museum. Leonardo da Vinci introduced her to Archangel Uriel, who she said never knew existed until she actually saw the painting. For more of this exciting story, I am joined now by Carolyn Shields. And Carolyn, always great having you here on the X-Zone. How have you been, dear friend?
I'm doing great, Rob, and thank you so much for inviting me.
It's great talking to you again. So continue the story about your quest. You know, you went to the Louvre, you saw the Da Vinci's Virgin on the Rocks, and then it was Da Vinci who introduced you to Archangel Uriel. So let's take it from there.
Yes, it was pretty exciting. I've always been raised Catholic all my life.
Mm-hmm.
And then to be introduced to this Archangel Uriel, it was pretty surprising. And when I did the research, I found out that Uriel is means God is my light,
Mm-hmm.
and he's part of the Seraphim, and he is in the Book of Enoch and in the Book of Ezra, and unfortunate for him, he was banned from veneration in the Roman Catholic Church by Pope Zachary in 745 A.D.
Go on.
So I was wondering what the poor little angel did to get booted out. And after that, it was a pretty interesting journey.
What did the angel do to get him booted out?
I think he is known as the angel for prophecy,
Mm-hmm.
for the arts, and for astronomy. And in most of the works he does, like the Book of Enoch, he teaches Enoch all about the stars. And as we know, the church really wasn't encouraging knowledge about the stars. About Galileo,
Sure.
and that whole trial. So I just think they really wanted to put him under the radar.
Put him under the radar because he was teaching humans about things that at the time were not supposed to be taught to humans, right?
Exactly.
All right, Carolyn, stand by. You and I have to take a break. Exo Nation. Carolyn Shield is my very special guest this hour. Her website, www.urielsjustice. And that's www.urielsjustice. I don't know, is it a .com or a .org or a .net, Carolyn?
Oh, it's a .com.
All right, .com. We'll both be back on the other side of this break as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away. Afterlife expert Roberta Grimes was the first one to say that dying can be fun. Now her best-selling book, The Fun of Dying, is available in stores worldwide. So if you wonder whether death ends life, how it feels to die, or what heaven might be like, The Fun of Dying was written for you. And if you have always been afraid of death, or if you worry that your life has no meaning, let The Fun of Dying ease your fears and bring new meaning to your life. Nothing said in The Fun of Dying is based on the teachings of any religion. Instead, Roberta draws on evidence to explain how death happens, how it feels, and what comes next. A lot of the best death-related evidence was produced in the first half of the 20th century. When it is put together with recent discoveries, it tells a consistent and amazing story. Roberta Grimes blogs and answers questions at robertagrimes.com. Her wonderful book, The Fun of Dying, is available on Amazon and at stores worldwide wherever books are sold. You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net.
While science pursues fact, magic accesses the quantum level, bridging random facts to form truth. As long as science and magic remain separate and polarized, the truth cannot be known. I'm Wilda Wiecka. Join me on the Science of Magic radio program dedicated to unification and evolution of consciousness. During each episode, I'll be speaking with experienced and respected scientists and mystics. From astrologers to astronomers, from medical doctors to shaman, the scientific method to dowsing and intuition, we will weave together information from seemingly divergent practices to promote unity and enlightenment. Join me, Wilda Wiecka, and the Science of Magic right here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. For more information, visit www.thescienceofmagic.net.
Linnea Starr began to demonstrate a metaphysical connection to the spirit world as a little girl. Her family noticed the connection, but it was a great-grandmother who told the family that Linnea was indeed gifted. The great-grandmother, who was also gifted, felt that Linnea had indeed inherited these attributes. It has been noticed that oftentimes such things are passed down through the generations. Linnea was also born with a caul, a thin white membrane across a newborn's face. Legend has it that if the baby is born with this caul, the child will have second sight, or what we call psychic abilities. Linnea Starr does past, present, and future, and has the gift of prophecy. It is written within scriptures that if you are able to give factual information, and prophecies indeed come true, the gift indeed comes from the divine realm. Linnea Starr does large interactive groups as well as private gatherings. For more information on Linnea Starr or to contact Linnea for a one-on-one consultation, visit her website at www.linneastar.com. That's www.linneastar.com.
You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net.
Carolyn Shield is our guest, Exonation. UrielsJustice.com is the website. And let me ask you this. You know, I went online and I took a look at Da Vinci's painting, and I have to ask you, why in the painting of Virgin of the Rocks, why doesn't Uriel have a halo?
Well, that's a good question. I think Da Vinci knew that Uriel was not supposed to be venerated, and so he eliminated the halo. So in other words, he was playing by the rule books, but he was also showing the problem with Uriel. And even to this day, people are trying to distort who he is. So like at the Louvre, some art historians will say it's Gabriel. But after seeing the London Museum painting, the halo is the loss of halo is the definitive proof that it's Uriel. Because if he was venerated, he would have had a halo. And a lot of people did not even know who Uriel was until after I started writing more about it.
You know, in other photos and in other paintings done by other people throughout the centuries, Uriel always has a halo. I'm wondering why Da Vinci did this. You know, what gave Da Vinci the authority to to not include a halo on an archangel?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those mysterious things that people just have to decide what they think. But it was enough for me to explore who this angel was.
Mm-hmm.
And I found some interesting things about him. Another thing is he's in Genesis, and he's the angel with the flaming sword. And when I was talking to some friends about this angel with the flaming sword, they told me, you need to look at the third prophecy of Fatima, because he's in it. And when I looked at the third prophecy, which is, it was suppressed,
Mm-hmm.
like 1917, it was, the sighting was seen, but we didn't hear about what the prophecy was about until the year 2000. And here's part of the prophecy is, I'll just read the first sentence.
Sure.
At the left of Our Lady, a little above, we saw an angel with the flaming sword in his left hand. So, and it goes on with more of the prophecy. But that's Uriel.
All right, we did some digging and we found out some stuff about Archangel Uriel ourselves.
Oh, good.
All right, the name of Uriel means light of God or flame of God. This is because Uriel brings the light or the flame of knowledge from God to mankind, and his symbol is an open hand holding a flame. Uriel is one of the four main archangels in the Christian and Judaic traditions. The others are Michael, Gabriel, and Raphael. Now, Uriel is considered to be archangel of the earth. Now, this means he is responsible for protecting people from floods, earthquakes, and other natural disasters. He is believed to have warned Noah of the impending flood. Some people believe that Uriel appears in storms and rainbows. Because of this close association with the earth, Uriel acts as a channel between the earth and the divine, bringing God's plan into the material world. Uriel's season is winter, and his direction is north. The Christian Church demoted Uriel in 745 CE. Pope Zachary became concerned at the proliferation of angels that was occurring. He called together a church council who denounced all angels who are not mentioned by name in the scriptures. Now, until this demotion, Uriel was considered one of the most important angels. Uriel was the most highly ranked angel to be treated this way. During the Renaissance, Pope Clement III ordered images of Uriel to be removed from churches because he mistakenly thought Uriel was connected to the heresy that claimed John the Baptist as Messiah. Dr. John Dee, astrologer to Queen Elizabeth I, communicated with Uriel and may even have seen him. In 1852, he had a vision of a young Uriel angel floating outside his window holding a crystal egg. Uriel is the archangel of prophecy and helps people develop their psychic and intuitive skills. He provides insight in the form of visions, dreams, and perceptions. In the book The Magnus, which was written in 1801, Francis Barrett credits Uriel with introducing alchemy and the Kabbalah to the world. Uriel helps people gain greater insight and clarity into the motivation of others. The clarity also extends to helping people with vision problems. And finally, although Uriel is gentle, loving, and kind, he is severe when people blaspheme or offend God. One of his tasks is to punish sinners. Consequently, he is known as the angel of retribution. An ancient tradition says that Uriel was the angel who wrestled with Jacob for a full night, and that was in Genesis 32 to 24 to 30. So that's a little bit of digging up and research we did on Archangel Raphael for this interview. And it's very interesting to hear that, here you have one of the 4 top archangels who got demoted. And has he ever been re-promoted to the statute?
Well, so, okay, Rob, so he's in the Fatima prophecy, which is a really big prophecy. And they know darn well who this angel with the flaming sword is. And they don't want to name him because, as you read just there, he's been demoted from veneration
right.
In 745. They erased his face with Pope Clement III. So you have to wonder, when they saw this prophecy, the shock on their faces when they saw the angel with the flaming sword telling them, and I quote his words, penance, penance, penance. You see the suppression repeatedly over Archangel Uriel. Another point is that in the Dead Sea Scrolls that were discovered in Qumran, we go again with suppression of the documents that was at the Dead Sea Scrolls, and the suppression went almost parallel with the prophecy of Fatima. And what's in the Dead Sea Scrolls is the Book of Enoch. And Uriel plays a very big part in the Book of Enoch, which is the trial between the Nephilim and the Watchers and mankind.
Now, the Nephilim are those who fell from the sky or descended from the sky, and they were apparently giants who had sex with the fair maidens of earth. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And so I don't think the church wanted any discussion in that kind of book. And you have to remember, Rob, the dating of the Dead Sea Scrolls was during Jesus' time. So Jesus knew about the Book of Enoch.
All right.
And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Okay. All right. So if Jesus was aware of the Book of Enoch, what is that significance?
Well, it means that he knew about the trial between mankind and the Lord of Hosts, and about the flood of Noah. And also in the Book of Enoch, as I said, Uriel tells Enoch all about the stars, the planets, the sun, and the moon. If you look at Da Vinci's Virgin on the Rock, there's some star reference there. Jesus represents the winter solstice. John the Baptist, usually, and he celebrated holiday in Canada is during the summer solstice.
On June the 24th, and it's only celebrated in one province in Canada. It's not celebrated throughout the entire country. The only province that recognizes the Saint Jean Baptiste Day holiday is the province of Quebec. You and I have to take a commercial break with the news at the bottom of the hour. X Zone Nation Carolyn Shield is our guest, and her website is urielsjustice.com. My name's Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. We'll be back on the other side of the news. Don't go away.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
You're listening to the X Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. Thomas Jefferson was a Burgess of 27 when he met Martha Wales Skelton, a 22-year-old widowed heiress who was fondly called Patty by her family. They were married on January the 1st, 1772, and they took up residence in a cabin on the building site on top of a Virginia mountain that Thomas had named Monticello. As Thomas and Patty slowly built their first version of the great house at Monticello, the Revolutionary War was heating up. Patty, with difficulty, bore 5 children, but only 2 girls survived. Thomas's political career developed to the point where he was often away from home, but after he authored and signed the Declaration of Independence in Philadelphia, he resolved never again to leave his wife. He was elected the governor of Virginia, just as that state became the Revolution's last battleground. The Revolutionary War ended in 1781, and Thomas gladly retired altogether to my family, my farm, and my books. But Patty continued to want to bear her treasured husband a son, and late in the summer of 1782, she died of kidney failure at the age of 33, 4 months after having borne yet another girl. Thomas was so devastated by her death that he never remarried. He mourned her for the rest of his life, even as he helped to frame the peace in France and then became the first Secretary of State, the second Vice President, and the third President of the United States. This story is true. Thomas Jefferson was such an obsessive letter writer and record keeper that we know where he was and what he was doing nearly every day of his adult life. Every significant thing he says in My Thomas comes from his contemporary writings. My Thomas by Roberta Grimes is now available at Barnes & Noble, Costco, Target, Books A Million, Hudson Booksellers, Kmart, Walmart, Sam's Club, Walgreens, CVS, and online at Amazon.com. You can visit Roberta Grimes online at www.robertagrimes.com.
The scientist and the mystic have been on an age-old, relentless search with one thing in common. They seek truth. Their paths converge in the 40,000-year-old practice of shamanism, an ancient science delving to the quantum level of life, facilitating healing, manifestation, and evolution. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka. the founder and director of Path Home Shamanic Arts School, a unique Colorado State certified occupational school training shamanic practitioners and teachers. We also provide classes for empowering personal lives through shamanism. Our certification classes are in week-long segments enabling international participation, and online classes and long-distance shamanic healing sessions are available. Come discover the science of magic in the limitless world of shamanism. www.findyourpathhome.com.
Unwilling to be the government's deadly assassin, gifted psychic Kahara Mitchell went AWOL and ended up buried under rubble in the wake of a great tsunami. She regained consciousness far from Earth on the medical ship of a Daguerrean intergalactic fleet. Has she been rescued or abducted by aliens? The Chalice of Carrie, Kahira O'Donnell's latest paranormal science fiction romance, is the passionate story of an Earth woman and her destined mates, twin kings from another galaxy. Kahara uses her gifts fighting alongside Lords Rom and Ra in a war that will determine the destiny of galaxies. The Chalice of Carrie by Kahira O'Donnell is now available at KahiraO'Donnell.com or at Amazon.com. You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. What happened in Benghazi is revealed by Nicholas Genix, author of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. He informs the American people that President Obama deceived them by advocating a strong foreign policy prior to the 2012 presidential election, and Hillary Clinton supported this deception. As the title infers, there is a connection between Obama, Islam, and Benghazi. Ample evidence informs Americans that Obama's early indoctrination in the Quran developed an affinity for Islam, why the Quran is the source of discontent in many countries, and why the Obama foreign policy deception led to poor military action and caused the loss of American lives in Benghazi. Genix provides 36 questions for the Select Committee on Benghazi to validate if Americans are justified to mistrust President Obama and Hillary Clinton. An overview of Obama, Islam, and Benghazi is presented on the website www.futureofgodamen.com. That's www.futureofgodamen.com. Annie Callahan, dedicated to negotiating a position for Earth within the Daguerrean Coalition, had trained for 3 years to become an Earth ambassador. Yet, the very eve of her arrival at the capital ruling planet, she is claimed as destined mate to an oversized, mating-maddened vamp who swears he will never release her. Lord Aztaran, king of the Macian sector, has waited over 900 years for his destined mate. Having found her as an alpha vamp, he is unable to relinquish Annie, virtually holding her hostage until he can claim her. Yet Macians cannot survive without their mate's love. How could he strip her of her citizenship, her ambassadorship, and her freedom and expect to win her heart? With All That I Am by Kahira O'Donnell is the latest book in this exciting series, The Daguerrean Chronicles, guaranteed to keep readers coming back for more. With All That I Am by Kahira O'Donnell is available on Amazon.com and KahiraO'Donnell.com.
You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net.
Welcome back, everyone. Carolyn Shield is my special guest. www.urielsjustice.com. Before we get back to Carolyn, I have to share an exciting project that we're doing here at the X-Zone between the X-Zone radio show, the X-Zone TV show, and Relmar McConnell Media Company. We are putting together the world's largest catalog on all the practitioners within the world of the paranormal, the science of parapsychology, New Age healing, New Age medicine, New Age philosophies. And we're going to be putting this giant-sized catalog together. And we're going to have it at one place. And we're going to allow the world to access this catalog with our compliments and the compliments of the people who are going to be subscribing into as registrants of the catalog. So we're going to keep you abreast of all this exciting information. Once again, Carolyn Shield is our guest. UrielsJustice.com is her website. So we were talking about the significance of Uriel. We talked about what he does, what happened to him, how he fell basically from grace. Which brings up another question. This is the second angel that we're aware of that was booted out of the realm of a higher deity. We've got Satan who, fell from grace, and now we have Uriel who also seems to have fallen from grace. Is there a connection between Satan and Uriel?
Well, that's a really good question. They're getting the same treatment, but the thing is with Uriel, here's a couple things also. You brought up Dr. D.
Yes.
Who was the main astrologer for Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth I, that's right.
Exactly, right. And Uriel plays a big part, our Dr. D, I said, in the major battle of history, in the Spanish Armada and the Battle of Britain. And Queen Elizabeth came to Dr. D, and he gave her the go-ahead for the battle, and England won. Uriel, there was a petition to Pope Benedict to reinstate Uriel, but Pope Benedict denied it. But you know what, Rob?
What's that?
Pope Benedict isn't Pope anymore.
Okay.
And it seems like they need to get on the page of understanding that this angel has pretty much power, and it seems like they're trying to ignore it.
But why would they want to ignore it, number one? Number two, if the angel has been declassified by a pope and hasn't been reinstated by the current administration in the Vatican, how can we still give Angel Ariel the accolades and the respect and the prayers that are no longer, supposed to be going to this angel? And instead of an archangel, is it just classified as an angel now?
Well, the good news is he is venerated in other churches. The Anglican, the Episcopal, the Presbyterian, the Russian Orthodox, the Greek Orthodox, and the Ethiopian. It really gets down to, Rob, the Roman Church is the one that has the most objections to him.
All right, I can understand that based on what we were talking about, the history where Ariel should not have shared at the time the knowledge that, that he shared in the book of Enoch. But then again, he kind of went from, and this is how I see it, this is only my opinion, from being the angel in the Garden of Eden to being an angel who kind of got his wings clipped because he went against the established rule within the confines of heaven. So how do we justify still looking at this archangel who's not an archangel, who did something that he wasn't supposed to do?
Well, the only thing I can say on that is when you look at the trial in the book of Enoch, he saved mankind. He went and pleaded to the Lord of hosts and asked for mankind to survive the flood. And then they ruled in the favor of mankind. And,
well, wait a sec. We can't say they ruled in the favor of mankind, because there was only a select family that was allowed to survive. And if you do the math on the repopulation of the earth based on the people who were in the ark, the math has never worked out. So are we talking about a metaphor, or are we talking about reality?
Yes, a metaphor.
So if we're talking about a metaphor about Noah's Ark and the flood, how do we know that we're not talking about a metaphor when we're talking about Archangel Uriel instead of a real substantive angel?
It's really a difficult thing.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I can think of is how this angel recurs in mankind's consciousness.
Oh, well, once again, it only reoccurs in certain people's minds, those who believe. I don't think the Archangel Uriel is talked about in the Quran, is he?
He may be, Rob. I don't know.
Okay, so we're taking a lot for granted here, but once again, we're talking about religion, and religion is a very personal thing that does not apply to everyone on this planet, because if it did apply to everyone on this planet, there would be one book and one religion, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So he actually goes through multiple religions.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Anglican, Presbyterian, Russian. What else is there? There's the Jewish religion. He's in there too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just one religion. I don't know about the Quran, but I'm a little thinking that he might be in that.
We just had one of our researchers send me a note, and Angel Uriel is not in the Quran.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. So what is, so I can understand certain people who believe in these angels, who get excited like you yourself do. But how does that apply to today's life? How can the belief in this angel better the lives of our listeners, better the lives of our loved ones? Because there's a lot of crap going on here on this planet right now that I'd love to see the other three angels come down here and help with this mess, help the sick. Help the sick. There's so much, there's hunger going on in the world. So many children are going to bed hungry. Many children don't wake up in the morning because there's no food or substance or medicine for them. Look what we're doing to the climate. So if these angels are out there, why in the name of God are they not getting their wings down here and doing something about it? Like it's great for us to give all these accolades to non-existent entities, but I'd like to see them do something positive for a change so that they can actually deserve the prayers that so many people are giving.
Mm-hmm. Well, only thing I can say is on that, he participated in a huge vision at Fatima. And it's getting to your point, this prophecy that it was like a warning to everybody to try to change, and it was suppressed. And until the year 2000. So it's got to be kind of frustrating, and so I can totally get what you're saying. But I just had my own experience with, so like in Da Vinci's painting and in the Fatima Prophecy, you see this connection with Uriel and the Our Lady. And
now, for those
family,
wait a sec. For those who are not Catholics and who do not follow Catholicism, tell the audience who Our Lady is.
Okay, Our Lady is Mary, Mother Mary, and but there's some question about that. I'm just going by the visions of what people have said. Okay. But it's usually a vision of a woman in white or blue, and she has roses by her. And this recurs over and over in different visions. And my family is connected with Our Lady. Once in the Lord, in the vision of Lourdes. And if you look at Da Vinci's painting, Virgin on the Rock, that's actually a prophecy kind of the vision of Our Lady and Lourdes, because it's a vision of a virgin in a grotto of rocks. And so my grandfather was cured by the waters of Lourdes. He had a skin condition, and it cured it. You know, I can't be for sure, but that's what they told me. And then my father, with the miraculous medal, his life was saved because he was a policeman in a gunfire. And the bullet hit the medal, the miraculous medal, and diverted it, so it didn't hit his femoral artery. And I think my other family saw the vision of Knock. Okay, and I actually have pictures of the Lourdes, Lourdes at France that he prayed to. And it's about 60 years old. It's on my YouTube channel. If your listeners want to,
okay. Let me ask you. Let me ask you this: why are there two paintings by Da Vinci of the Virgin of the Rocks?
Well, that's a great question, because the both of them had different things in each one. And I think what happened is they wanted more definition in the second one of who they were, of who the people were in there. And but that's still a mystery, Rob. Nobody really knows the answer of that.
I have to ask you this. You know, like if these are both supposed to be the Virgin of the Rocks. Yeah, it sounds like a drink that you'd ask for at a bar. Hi, can I get a Virgin on the Rocks? Why is it called with some people, the Madonna on the rocks, and other people, the Virgin of the Rocks?
Well, that actually, it's usually the Virgin of the Rocks, but in Da Vinci Code, that actually was an anagram in part of his book. He used that secondary name to be a clue in his book. Right.
So why would he need to have all this secrecy when it comes to the Madonna, the Virgin? And I'm looking at this painting, and I'm trying to figure out what the connection is with the angel Uriel.
Because it's in an apocryphal book that was not sanctioned by the church, but you have the church commissioning this painting, and it's about an angel that's not sanctioned in there, and how he rescues John the Baptist.
Yeah, I know that. I know the story, but I'm trying to figure out how it relates to these paintings.
You mean why Archangel Uriel's in there?
Well, where is the Archangel? I can't see her anywhere.
Anywhere. It's like an androgynous thing. She's over there by Jesus, on the right.
Oh, with the red cape on.
Yes. Now, that's the one at the Louvre.
Right.
If you go down farther in blue, she's over to the right, too.
All right, you stand by. You and I have to take our final break. X-Zone Nation, my guest this hour is Carolyn Shields. Her website is urielsjustice.com, and we'll both be back as we wrap up this hour here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net. If you enjoy reading a good mystery with a touch of the paranormal, then you'll love From Out of the Woodwork by William S. Peckham. Sean Kennedy, a Toronto contractor, buys derelict houses, guts them, and turns them into multi-family dwellings. When Sean buys 29 Livery Lane, a century house in ruins, and starts the renovation, the house fights back. He is visited by ghosts of owners past. His visions are triggered by touching an oak mantle, reading a faded letter, opening an old locket, or opening a brand new casket in the basement. These visions will take you on a trip across southern Ontario from Niagara Falls to Toronto to Kingston. From Out of the Woodwork is now available in paperback and on your favorite electronic reader. To order your copy of From Out of the Woodwork, go to www.williamspeckham.com. That's www.williamspeckham.com.
You're listening to the X-Zone Broadcast Network, www.xzbn.net.
Carolyn Shield is our special guest this hour. Exonation, UrielsJustice.com. That's UrielsJustice.com. And over the commercial break, I was talking to Carolyn about the two different paintings by Da Vinci. One is in the Louvre, and the other is in the London Museum. And I'm looking at this painting, the one from the Louvre, and the angel looks like a girl. And we have been talking about him as if the angel was a male. So I am asking a very serious question. Is it possible that angels, because of their role, are both male and female?
Yes. Yes. I think that's been a thing that's been going on for centuries. Trying to show a patriarchal system versus, women having a part in heaven. And that was an excellent point, Rob.
Is it time that we disband the Vatican? We get rid of the Pope. Is he really needed in today's society? And how much harm is being done when you look at the global picture by having a self-sustaining country? If I was Jesus, or if I could have the opportunity of sitting down with Jesus at a Tim Hortons, or maybe we'd go over to the local bar and each have a Virgin of the Rocks, I'd kind of say, listen, Lord, don't you think it's time that we put a big for sale sign on every church, get all the money we can get for the poor, the hungry, and the sick, and, have the good old Sunday masses on the grounds, on the fairs, on the plateaus, in the meadows, like you did way back when? That makes sense to me.
It makes sense. And actually, Rob, I think Uriel in the prophecy of Fatima told him that. Basically told him that. And I think that's why was suppressed for over 80 years.
I would have loved to see the original Bible with every chapter in it that went to the Council of Nicaea before it was edited. That's what I would really love to see.
And that's why the book of Enoch is so dangerous, because that didn't go through the Council of Nicaea. And here we found it in Qumran. And we found the Nag Hammadi scrolls, things that were supposed to be destroyed, but then we found them.
Once we were lost, and now we are found.
Yes, and Uriel was part of that.
We're going to have to continue this conversation another time because we've just run out of time, Carolyn. I want to thank you so much for joining us. Exonation Carolyn Shield has been our guest. Her website, UrielsJustice.com, and we'll both be back. No, I'll be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock as once again we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. So until then, my good friends, one very simple thing to do. Make somebody happy. and always keep your eyes to the sky and your heart to the light. Good night, everyone.